Miss Aditi Kothari. Please welcome her with a huge round of applause.
Good afternoon. I know the session after lunch is not the most favorable, but I'm going to try to make it different because I've heard everyone's talking about different things, and I'm going to try to make mine very different from what you all have heard in the morning. So I'm going to talk about a very different topic: financial wellness for employees. Okay, and I'm not mic'd up, so I have to kind of stay here. So is it what is happening with employees today? Okay, this kind of gives a quick cartoon of it all and makes fun of it. But this is really what's going on that we've seen. Okay, that there are, 81% of employees face a financial shortfall between pay periods. Okay, and you have 60% employees with monthly salary of more than 1 lakh. And they fail to meet their expenses. So this is a glum picture. People think, loans have increased like crazy, but investment has not kept pace with that. And everyone's aspirations have gone up, given what has happened in the social media and Netflix and whatever you have there. And what happens? They come to you for more salary. But they're not taking care of their salary. That's the point. So, this is just more of the doom and gloom, okay? That, 57% of employees say that finances are the top causes of stress in their lives. And you know that. All HR probably has to come and counsel a lot of these that you've probably gone through. And some that you don't know of. 74 seek financial guidance when dealing with financial decisions. Okay? And what can financial wellness do? They can take care of these things. And we have to show that we care as L&D heads more than, just for them to seek financial help outside. This is how we can really show that we care. You want your firm to be the number one employer, right? Employer of choice, right? And we say that that's up to us. And I'm talking as an L&D person today then. But what can we do? What more can we do? So, and 59% say that the compensation isn't keeping up with rising cost of living expenses. What it is not keeping up with is their aspirations. What it is not keeping up is with their costs. The cost of living is not increasing like crazy. It's the aspirations that are going up. So DSP has introduced a financial wellness program. Now let me tell you how we came about this. SEBI has mandated all mutual fund houses to do financial awareness at all levels. DSP decided to take it up with corporates. Okay, and we first decided corporate women, because women don't make their own investment decisions. They normally depend on their husbands, their brothers, their fathers. Okay, and so I said, let me start something called Winvestor. It's for women. And what did I say? Let me go to corporates, because these are where women are employed. They're making their own money. After they get their check, they give it to their husband and brother. And I know this because I call women, if they're listed as women, DSP is my investors, and I call them. And they said, even if their name is, a woman's name, she picks up the phone and then gives the phone to the husband. Ek minute, I'm not in charge of this. You talk to him. But she herself is an employee. She makes her own money, but she's giving the phone to the husband. So the reins of the money that she makes is going to the husband. So I noticed this. I noticed this in my own firm also. Forget that. When I called certain numbers, it was, say, Divya Kumari or whatever. You call the name, and the person who picks up is a male, because that phone number is of the husband only. So I said, we have to do something here. She's earning her own money. She better know how to invest it. So I started going to corporates, talking about women and women's financial health and how women need to take charge of their own investments. What happened? People started banging on the door saying, why are you only doing this for women? Please, can you do this for men also? So we do all women sessions, or we do co-ed sessions. We don't do all male sessions, okay? And Shimona here, she's here. Shimona, you want to stand up? She's from DSP and she's been conducting these sessions. She's done over 250 organizations, okay? And usually what happens is that organizations from 1st March to 8th March, she's the busiest. Why? Exactly. But they only think of women on that time. Guys, please, women have to be thought of through the year. But she's the busiest then. But please do be in touch with her to know more. And let me tell you, all our trainers, and Shimona right now is the only one, are trained. I have helped edit all the presentations. Shimona has then presented to me over and over again. We've honed a presentation, then we've taken her to a presentation skill trainer, and only then will she present in front of your employees. So employees will not get bored. She's done this over and over, and she's trained and trained again, and she keeps refreshing herself. So that's what DSP is. We want to keep our standards high. So here are some of the sessions that we do. I talked about the Winvestor session for women. We do investing demystified because everyone is always scared about investing, don't know. We do something called Axe Your Tax. Now with all the new millions of regimes, how does that work into your financial wellness? We have a master class on mutual funds. We specialize in mutual funds, so we know the best there. Roadmap to retirement. This is a big issue. And this is going to be a big issue. I know lots of people who are working, and when it comes to retirement, there's not much in their account. And that is unhealthy, and it is scary. And who takes care of them? Their children, who becomes a sandwich generation. We don't want to do that. All of us here. So we better have something for retirement. And we're going to introduce a new program called NPS. All of you all have heard of NPS? Hands up who have not heard of NPS. Be honest. Very good. But all the employees have not heard of NPS. And if they have, they don't understand it very well. So we will be having a session on NPS also. So just wanted to talk to you about this. How much you really need for retirement? Okay? So you have Raj, he's 25. His monthly expenses are only 25,000 rupees. Okay? Yash is 40, probably is married, has a child, 40,000. And Jennifer, she's 50. Her kids are looking after themselves now. She probably has expenses of about 40,000. Okay, monthly expenses at retirement, we're saying, will be much more because there's something called inflation. In addition to inflation, we will have maybe bigger aspirations. We want to do more. Things change. So I'm saying that it may not, especially for this guy, Raj, he's not going to stay at this. It'll probably be even higher. But still, hypothetically, I'm taking this just as inflation. And we're taking the retirement age at 60, okay, here? So if I do that, the amount he will need in his retirement fund just to meet his basic expenses is 3.6 crores for Raj, Yash is 40, and Jennifer will need 1.3. What do you need to put today? At a 12%, and I'm saying just 12%, and I'll explain that why. Just 12% what I need to put away today so I can meet that. In an SIP form, which is a monthly form, is 6,500 only for Raj. Yash, if he starts today, is at 26. And Jennifer's at 60 if she's not done anything before. My point is, guys, the earlier you start, the better it is. Because there's more time for your money to compound. And it is our responsibility, and I say that to my HR, and our HR is sitting right here, to constantly talk to our employees about why they should start their SIP as early as possible. First salary, start your SIP. Because then you only need to put this much. You only need to do what Raj is doing. If you're younger, even less. These are the things that we bring out in our financial wellness program. insights that people wouldn't know, that you wouldn't think of. And how to understand financial instruments. Now, I'm going to give you all just a snippet of what we show. There's much bigger, but just to tell you all. So there are so many financial instruments. What should I do? What should I do, right? So how to start planning your finances? The first thing we tell people, please, health insurance. I know most of you all provide it. But if someone wants to take something above that, which we all, in fact, encourage our own employees to. What is the average these days? 5, 7, 10 lakhs that people provide? But a heart operation is 20, right? And with a good doctor, reputed doctor. So better they top up their health insurance. So we talk to them about that. Second, insure your life for dependents. We're not talking about ULIPs. ULIPs is almost a bad word in mutual funds. Now, so they are tax inefficient also. Okay, but take a term insurance. It doesn't cost much. Put that aside. That is your life insurance. Only if you have dependents. By the way, my sister-in-law was not married. She had 4 ULIPs going on. For what? My mother-in-law was working. She was not married. She had no children. Her brother, who was married to me, we were financially independent. Why did she need 4 life insurance plans? This is the mis-selling that's going on. We need to educate our employees about this sort of mis-selling. You need 1 term insurance. If you have dependents, if you don't have dependents, don't bother. And identify your needs, not just your wants, so that you understand how much really is the money I really need to spend. So we make people aware and understand your risk appetite. So this is very important. I tell people, you know, the reason women should not invest and depend on their husbands to invest is big, because your risk profile will be different than your husband's risk profile. And if something goes wrong, guess what happens? So it can be that the husband is, you know, listening to other people. Let's put in this stock. Ye to chal raha hai. This small cap mutual fund is doing very well. I'll just jump into that. Infrastructure fund is doing very well. Chalo, I'll put it in. Now, she's conservative. She doesn't even want to put money. But she doesn't understand that. She's left that to her husband. By the way, you've seen the meltdown in the market these days. Okay, if you were careful and had put in hybrid funds, which is a mix of equity and debt, it didn't affect you that much. But your small cap, your infrastructure funds I saw, and small cap funds are down 11% over 6, 7, 8 months. So even if you put money 8 months ago, you're down. It won't last. Eventually you go up, and if you have a SIP, you're buying every time it falls, and we'll explain that. So there's nothing to panic. My point is, the wife may not want that heart attack when she finds out, and then you don't want issues at home for any employees, by the way. So it's very important that you understand your own risk profile. We teach you how to do that. We tell you how to think through that, and then you make your own decisions, and you be responsible for your own decisions. You can have a financial advisor helping you, but you're the decision maker. Whether it's the husband who leaves it to the wife or wife who leaves it to the husband. Plan and asset allocation. I just said, putting all your eggs in one basket, put everything into infrastructure funds, put everything into the small and mid-cap fund, ye chal raha hai, wo chal raha hai, my friend made so much money. And then when you have a meltdown, guess what? But guess what? Gold is up 36% in 1 year. Who put in gold ETFs? So you need to diversify your basket, okay? And then evaluate your plans periodically with a financial advisor. So you want to do it yourself? Sure, you go to the Grows and Zerodhas or whatever. But having a financial advisor does help, because he's sort of, in times like this, he calms you down, he tells you what to do. And sometimes he's, you know, your financial, emotional support. So we can talk about those things also. These are kinds of different mutual funds. So liquid funds come all the way at the bottom, low risk, low return. It's not going to melt down when the markets melt. The most riskiest ones will be specialty focus, so only IT. only infrastructure, only defense. Oh my God, that's even one. Within the infrastructure, there's more. So be careful of those. They'll give very high returns and then they'll fall also pretty fast. So it's okay. If you are a maverick and say, chalo, humko bhagana hai, that's fine. And you want to get in and out and all that. But guess what? You don't want your employees to be on Zerodha and grow the whole day. Here is another thing which happens. You want them to be in something that they invest and they forget. SIPs into a fund and they forget. Because I don't know how many of you all have had that problem, but I've had HR heads telling me that people are trading all day. We talk about tax saving instruments. Of course, now with the new tax regime and old, this is more old tax regime, but we'll talk about it. This is something I said, right? National Pension System, the NPS. We'll talk about that during our presentations. I don't know how many of you all know that if you're on the old tax regime, the 50,000 extra you can put over the 1.5 that is allowed in the ATCC for NPS. That will be deducted for your income. Then, at whatever the retirement age that your corporate chooses, you can take the money out then. 60% of that will be tax-free. Imagine it is compounded so much over the years, especially if you start when you're young. And it's all tax-free. If you don't do it, oh my God. And in the new tax regime, 14% of your CTC, you can say it's NPS allotted. That will again be tax-free. So I'm just saying that these are amazing tax-saving tools that we ourselves don't understand, and we as DSP want to come and help you all understand this and help the employees understand this. Just really quickly, what returns can you make? So we're saying 12 years, no, 12,000, 12 years at 12%. Okay, SIP. 12,000, 12 years at 12% gives you 38 lakhs. 12,000 a month at a 12% CAGR for 24 years gives you, there's just a few more years. So I'm saying start early. 2 crores. This is the power of compounding. Why am I saying 12%? Because the Sensex this is what the Sensex has done. Over 1 year, okay, recently because of the meltdown, you see a 9.5. But over 5 years, it's given 15. Last 10 years, it's given 12.4. 15 years, 12. And last 20 years, it's given 14.7. And then you have active funds, right, that you want to beat the index. The whole point is to beat this index. My point is, that's why I took 12. Hopefully, you make even more. If you do 15,000 at 15 for 15 is 1 crore. And 15,000 at 15 for 30 years is. And the reason I'm saying it is because you need to start with your first salary and push them to start with their first salary. Is 10 crores. This is the power of compounding. And this can happen in NPS. Because you're investing for really long. You can't take it out only. Even if the temptation is there, you can't take it out till you retire. Let it compound. Let it compound. This is what some people have to say about us. Even I can't read it, so. But I believe it's good.
Organizations that we have been doing these sessions.
Yeah, Cipla, Tech Mahindra, TCS.
Tech Mahindra we've been doing very actively, and
Oberoi Hotels. I mean, we go to a lot, as I said, over 250 organizations. 14,000 sessions, 250 plus organizations, 1 lakh plus employees covered, and hope to hear from you soon. So, are there any questions? Yes, sure.
You said 40%. Is it 40% that we get limit or 10%?
14%.
14%. But for corporate, is it for government or like private employees?
I'll let
I think earlier it was kept 10%.
10% is the old regime. 14 up to 14% is new tax. But let me introduce Rahul heads NPS for DSP. He can answer a lot of the questions. This is for NPS, right? I'm presuming.
Yes, so okay, I will just repeat for everyone. So because I was availing this, what
Yes.
you said, 50,000, which was I think 80 CD something, along with the 10% of basic salary.
In addition to that, you get 10%.
Yeah, in
right?
addition, yeah, 10% from company it will get deducted.
Yeah, yeah.
And we can top up up to 50,000. So I was doing that. Is it applicable for new regime also? Number one. Number two, you are saying that it has increased from 10 to 14, right?
14, 1-4.
14.
Yeah.
14, yes.
But that's in the new regime.
Yeah. So just to clarify, in the old regime, you could contribute up to 10% of your basic salary and get tax benefits. In the new regime, you can save up to 14% of your basic salary with a cap of 7.5 lakhs. That's the upper limit, and you can get the tax benefits. So the new regime, you can save 14%. Old regime, you can save 10%.
But in the new regime, you don't get that 50,000 extra because the 80cc goes away. Yes.
How do you ensure 15% foreign?
There is no assurance at all. There is no assurance. However, if you see how our funds have done, our fund, DSP fund, 27 years is our longest fund, okay? It started in 1997, so almost actually 28 years. Has given 18% returns on average for those years, okay? 18. But this fund had 6 years of zero return. So if you put it in the peak of .com, it took you till 2006 to get your money back, okay? This fund has had negative 2008, everyone remember financial crisis? This fund was down 50%, 50%. So there will be things but everything goes through ups and downs, okay? It is the people who are really, really patient who will do well. Can I assure that India will again give you that much? India's grew so much over all this time. I don't know, I hope. And there are 3.5 lakh people in that fund of ours, the oldest fund. Okay, and guess how many people have stayed from the beginning to the end to make that 18%? 30 people. Okay, and I don't know if, and sometimes we call these people, why did you stay? And they don't answer the phone. Why? Because they've passed away. So the Fidelity did a study. The guys that earn the most, they called, they started calling in their, oh, you've earned the most. Like, your money has gone like up 50 times, 70 times, 100 times. Congratulations. They tried to call them and they realized those people were no longer alive. So it is about compounding. And again, it is India. Let me tell you, US and India have been able to do this. I cannot tell you if I'm sitting here in Argentina that this would have been the same. If I'm sitting in Venezuela, I can't tell you this. I'm telling you because of it, India has had stable government with a stable economic policy.
And to just add to what you said, NPS last year has, at DSP has given 24% return, which is the highest in the industry. So yes, though nobody can guarantee, but there will be phases where you will earn phenomenal returns and there will be phases where but on an average, you can earn between 12 to 15%, depending on when you enter and when you exit.
We're telling everyone 12% because that is what I've been seeing in the BSE. Okay? What we have delivered is more. Will I always continue to deliver more? I hope. That's our job. That's why DSP, you pay fees so that we can give you more than the index. Otherwise, you just put money in the index fund, which is possible also. That's very good question because that's the difference between active and passive. Put money in this index, BSE ka stocks. You can buy a fund, just BSE ka stocks. You put the money in that. Okay, you will make this return or whatever they make. Why do you want to put it in DSP or HDFC or ICICI? Because you want them to make more than that. And therefore, you have to, that fee is just a little more than that. So that's called active fund. This is called passive fund.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful presentation. Please give her a big round of applause.